Hello, and welcome to another episode of eBay Scavengers. This is episode number 124 on ebayscavengers.com. And we just finished our tech work that we've been doing all week. So we're kind of winding down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure as you can hear in our voices, we're very tired. This has not been a vacation week. That for us this week, it's working 12-hour days. But it's been a fun job. We like to sometimes get back into our kind of tech work.
Yeah.
But it's only cool to do it for a short job and feel accomplished. But I would hate to do this every week, you know?
Well, it's funny because we've talked about this before. And I was talking to my sister on the phone last night, and she does tech work too. And I just realize when there's those stressful moments, it's a different kind of stress than eBay. I mean, eBay can have its stresses, but it's kind of that feeling of like, why am I doing this again? I want to be at home listing. You know, it's so much more relaxed. But I do like our tech work, but it is nice to have the buffer of eBay.
Yeah, and I just forget what it's like when you work for other people, how it's so draining because, you know, it's a lot. When you're working for somebody else, you know, you don't take the breaks when you want to take breaks. You kind of just work when, you know, because things got to get done on a different time scale than what we do for ourselves.
Yeah, there's a lot expected of you from many people. So it's different. It's very different. So.
Yep. So, but even though we make a living on eBay, we could only do eBay. We do like to still, you know, like people say, diversify. I mean, we still keep our hands in other, you know, in the old work we used to do because it's good to get paid. I mean, we got a good chunk of change, and
we like to dabble in it.
Yeah, and it's just good to. Who knows? But so this week, you know, we've talked about. I posted on Wednesday about our eBay store is on vacation mode.
Right.
Which means that we can still sell, just that a banner tells us sellers that we will ship after we get back.
Buyers,
that its buyers will know that they can buy, but things will ship when we get back. And this is a feature of eBay. I mean, we aren't like hacking eBay or doing something eBay doesn't allow. I mean, this is a feature of eBay. We're just using it to its full extent.
Yeah.
So we have been accepting a lot of offers. We've been getting offers, and maybe offers we normally wouldn't have taken.
We're taking them.
We're taking them just because we want to keep selling stuff, and we're hungry for sales. And, you know, so it's Saturday today, so we still have all day this week, all day today to sell, but we've sold 32 items so far this week.
Right, we sold 32 items, and I think 3 or 4 people needed it faster.
Right. It's funny, when I posted on Wednesday, nobody had asked for its money back. But then it seemed like right as I posted that, we've gotten 4 people who bought, and then we told them we didn't tell them it reminded them that they wouldn't get their item by a certain time, and strangely, it was a lot of like theater people.
I thought it was so funny because I guess I don't realize how many people we sell to who are really depending on the date of delivery, because you don't think about it because you just send it off and, you know, if they don't say anything. But yeah, several people were like, I need this for our production. So that was kind of cool, but it's too bad.
And people are fine about it. I mean, they're like, oh, I didn't see the banner, I didn't see the note, so we give them an immediate refund and they can go buy someplace else. And people are like, have a good time on your trip.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not really
good.
So I you know, it's a little bit of a back and forth sometimes, but I really don't see it as a big deal. So we sold 32 things. We made about $1,000, which is about half of what we make on a normal week. But we're selling while we're gone. So we balance that out, you know.
Yeah.
You know, one thing, you know, it seems like when we talk about selling on its vacation, it brings out a lot of passionate people about pro and con, you know. And people are very protective of their top-rated seller status, which it is true. We will most likely lose our top-rated seller status after being away for 3 weeks and
not shipping.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And this happened to us when we were in Amsterdam for 6 weeks, and it's for us. Number one, we'll get it back.
Right.
It takes 2 or 3 months for a shipping to kind of flush out.
Right.
But we'll get it back. And number two, I don't know. I don't really see the big draw of top rated
I mean, we know
status.
the biggest draw for us anyway is 20% discount on final value fees. That's awesome. That's fine.
And that comes out to about $200 or $300 a month for us. So that is real. It's money that we will lose. But I mean, even in this just 1 week, we'll make enough that we would have gotten in top rated seller status in 3 months.
Right. So if we had put our store completely on hold to keep our top rated seller status, no one can buy anything while we're away, the money doesn't even out. And we still get, I noticed, I don't know if anyone can tell me if this is true, but when we lost our top rated seller status last October, I noticed I still got the USPS discount. So I don't know if it's just like,
if that's by power seller.
Or just some other status.
And then the other thing is, I'm sure it must be true, but about if you have the top rated seller status, if you're higher in the rankings. And I was always worried, well, are we going to be pushed down? People won't buy from us. Our sales, I saw no up
change.
Or down, no drop at all.
Yeah.
And because honestly, I think a lot of times most people, because I know this is how I shop by price. So I'm trying to sort things by price, and as long as our prices are good and competitive,
I mean, there are some times where if I'm buying electronics, especially, and I'm competing on price, and there's so many people for that stuff, I will choose a top-rated seller because I know if I have a problem, but not for unique clothing and stuff.
Right. I mean, and this is the difference we always talk about with our store. Most of what we sell is a lot of one-of-a-kind items or more weird things,
Vintage, retro, one-of-a-kind. Yeah,
where when you do a search, I mean, there might be, a couple hundred people you're competing against, but not thousands. And very often it's us and, 5 other people. So that's, I think, what makes our business model kind of make sense. So I just wanted to wrap up about the it's vacation thing. We assume now that everything has to be shipped its next day. I mean, I'm not even that old, but I remember as a kid, my mom would bring home the catalog.
Yes.
And we would go through the department store catalog and we would buy stuff.
4 to 6 weeks.
And it would take 4 to 6 and sometimes even 8 weeks to get things.
Isn't that crazy?
That was just the normal way of doing it. I really feel like when we sell on It's Vacation that it's kind of like that way, and I think there are a lot of people that are cool with that. So I don't know.
I think also, I mean, we talked about this, but for unique items, people are willing to wait because they're like, I found the one I want. It's a good deal, and I'm going to stick with it. Like I've put it on hold, So that seems to be the attitude a lot of people have for the items we're selling. So
it's this week on vacation. We've sold a couple cool things. Like we sold this, it's leather coat, like a jacket that a motorcycle jacket.
Oh right, yeah. We had this. It's cool because it's a women's motorcycle jacket, white leather, and it's got that armored. Yeah. If anyone rides motorcycles, they know it's got this like armored plastic on the inside.
It would be like for the girls that ride those a ninja bikes.
Yeah, like a ninja bike.
And I only bring this up because it's a good example. We sold it for $150.
Yeah. We took an offer too, I think.
Yep, we took an offer. So we had it up for $300. We ended up taking half prices because we were just doing deals. But I think we only bought it for $5 or $6, and it took 15 months to sell. It's one of those items that has been in our store and people have been watching it. And I couldn't figure out why it wouldn't sell, but we did not want to just lower the price. We knew it was worth it. I didn't want to just sell it for $50. And, I would have liked $300, but $150 was good.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is worth waiting for 15 months.
Right.
Because during that time, we've sold plenty of other things.
Sure.
But that patience paid off.
Right. And what's great is it was lucky for him because we were taking deals this week because we were, on vacation mode. So that's good.
And then we sold something else that was interesting. We sold a pair of slippers.
Yes. Like sheepskin slippers.
Sheepskin slippers. You know, it's June. But the woman, when we told her we would ship at a later date, she said, no problem. I'm just buying for the winter time. So, you know, we've talked about this also on the blog where people are like,
they're getting ready.
Do I keep stuff on my store that's for another holiday or a season? And that's a good example. People do buy sweaters and jackets and winter stuff in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, almost every summer, inevitably it's during a heat wave, we'll sell all these sweaters. I don't understand it, but it's happened several years in a row.
We
sold the sweater this week.
Yeah.
To someone in like Massachusetts. It's like, okay, cool. It's getting hot. Got to get a wool sweater.
And then the other example was we had tried to do some retail arbitrage. I don't know, about 6 months ago. We were at a grocery store and saw a really good deal on honey. On this kind of
like fancy German honey. It's like this gourmet, like forest honey.
And we bought it for about $3
each, yeah.
Yeah, which is a great deal. It's not super great. And, you know, we've been trying to sell it for what, like $12?
I think $14 a jar.
Yeah. And, you know, it's slowly
leaving my office.
We sold another jar this week, but
I think she bought two, which is lucky. But it's hard because I at first I thought people were selling them for $30 because I thought they were one of those like super rare gourmet items, and then when I got home I researched it more and that wasn't true.
Yeah. So our fault was we didn't research it enough.
Right. In the store. And number two, again, the whole buying things from a retail store and trying to sell on eBay just doesn't seem to work because, number one, we bought it for $3, which is kind of expensive. And then we could only sell it for $14. I mean, that kind of profit is ridiculous, you know? The other thing, too, about honey, since we are beekeepers, honey is heavy. And this honey is in a glass jar. So you really have to be very careful with it. You know, you need to bubble wrap it, and I even wrap it in a little bit of cardboard and then put it in a box. It's like for $14, you know? So that's a little bit tough.
Yeah, something we've done, we've been kind of scavenging, and we've talked about this before. We mail stuff home to ourselves.
Yes.
So we actually mailed 2 boxes to ourselves already. How heavy was it? It was like...
So we mailed 2 boxes. One box was 24 pounds. One box was 39 pounds.
And it was
quite heavy.
Interesting. You know, we would always normally just go to the post office. But by our hotel, there's a FedEx place just a block away.
FedEx office, yeah.
And so as Ryan did the research, and people had told us this, but now we had know it's for ourselves, FedEx Ground... home is cheaper.
They call it FedEx Ground or FedEx Home. It was cheaper. It was, I want to say it was like almost $20 cheaper. It was cheaper than Parcel Post, which is like the cheapest you can send it. Mm-hmm. The other problem was we're in downtown in a hotel. The post office is like a mile away. So that's 60 pounds worth of boxes. And we're like, we don't have a car. We don't have like any way to get up there unless we got a cab. The cool thing was FedEx, I can see it from our window right now. So we just walked it over there. I printed the label. What I did was I signed up for a FedEx account, which I was hesitant to do, but I was like, I'll just do it. And I filled it all in, said the weight of my boxes, and actually the way I weighed them was like a super like hacker way to do it. I have like a luggage scale, which is just a hook with a handle that you put like your bag on so you can weigh it. So I wrapped our belts around the boxes and lifted them up. And that was awesome because that helped me just get all my info down and just drop them off at FedEx. Like I didn't have to mess with them at all.
And we found out that a luggage scale is really important for us to travel with, because when we were in Amsterdam, we had misweighed some of our bags we were trying to put on the plane, and we had to struggle to, like, in the middle of the airport, unpack some bags and rearrange things because we didn't have the right weights. So extremely important for packing, for shipping and taking stuff on home is to have that like little scale.
All you have to do is look on eBay or Amazon. Just look up luggage scale, and they cost like $5. They're great. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. But so anyway, it's FedEx. It's the first time we've ever used it. Really, I mean,
this is the first time I've used it.
So people had told us that it was cheaper. It is cheaper. There's actually a FedEx drop-off, we think, in our town, and we may actually start to make that an option on some of our heavier items, you know?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go through and what I need to do is double-check their weight and size limit, and some of our, like, kind of furniture-type things, like we have a couple trunks that could go FedEx Ground if I pack them, you know, correctly. So I think if it's cheaper, people might be like, yeah, I'll do that. So that's a new option. I'm very dedicated to the post office, so it's actually kind of like tough to go FedEx. But I do know the post office and FedEx have partnerships, so
it really is what the post office still has over anyone is they will pick up from our home for free. Because if you try and do it with
FedEx,
a FedEx or
UPS, they will charge you. It's like, you know, minimum, you know, $13 to $15 to pick up, which is that adds a lot to your package.
Although they told us if you have a corporate rate or if you have a corporate account and do a certain amount of volume, but I don't think we
would not qualify for that.
So the other thing was we had a listener write to us about global shipping, and you know we've talked about this on the blog. He tried to ship an item, and the person in Australia wrote to him and said they got an empty box.
Right. And so he wrote to us saying, what do I do?
So we just wrote, like we always say, you know, once it's in global shipping, the great thing about it is it's all eBay. You have no, as far as I've ever seen, you have no responsibility after that because you've gotten it to the Kentucky warehouse.
Yes, that's all you're responsible
And I guess
for.
what happened was they had repacked it but forgot to put the item in it, so they sent an empty box, and then I guess they sent the real item, so the buyer got the item after
the day after.
Right, the day after that. But I mean, I think the whole point is that the reason why we're such big fans of the global shipping program is that they take care of it.
We had an incident this week as well. It was very minor because eBay really didn't even like send us any messages about it. A buyer in like Sweden about a month and a half ago had written, oh, by the way, I'm not going to be in the country for several weeks, so please have the Swedish post office hold this for me. As you all know, we have no control over the Swedish post office or anything that global shipping can do. So we just told them what we always tell them. It's global shipping, contact eBay, blah, blah, blah. She actually opened a case of item not received. But we never got that message because eBay just took care of it. So I looked on our resolution center this morning, and it was just like, basically it's like eBay's taking care of this. Like you can't get bad feedback or neutral feedback for it. So there's a buffer there to protect you because you did your job.
Right. And the thing that I guess everyone complains about is that the global shipping program will charge buyers more than they should, supposedly.
Right.
So Canadian buyers don't have to pay certain kind of import fees on certain kind of things, but eBay, I guess, is doing that? I don't know. So if that's true, I hope eBay kind of adjusts their prices. But as far as I can tell, there are countries where there are import fees, and I don't know if the people in these countries aren't aware of that, or they're just angry at their own country for charging those fees. I mean, it's So you know, I don't know exactly why eBay would charge something that wasn't actually going to get paid to their government. But sometimes I just feel we've gotten its messages. It lately. Could we sell it off of the global shipping program because their customs don't always charge customs, that it's kind of like a crapshoot, and I don't really quite understand that, but they say sometimes if you send an item, it will just get sent to them directly, and then sometimes they have to, and they just want to take that chance and hopefully get it cheaper. And at that point, it's too much hassle. Yeah, it gets too complicated for
Yeah,
us.
usually we're just, I mean, I know people are like, you know, they want the sale, but sometimes I'm just like, I want the sale, but I don't want the hassle, you know?
And, you know, I know some people say they tried global shipping program and their sales overseas just dropped.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for us, it's been different. I mean, we still sell 10%, I mean, 20% of our sales are often overseas, and most of those are with the global shipping.
I mean, we show you the numbers every week now of our international
I'm not
sales.
sure if it's what kind of things people sell. It's maybe clothes aren't as popular overseas. I don't know.
I sell a lot of clothes overseas, but yeah, I mean, I definitely hear those gripes. I totally get that, but I still love it. I'm still going to use it. So eBay sent out a message that there are some eBay in-person events happening in certain parts of the country. For us, it was like Baltimore, Philly, and somewhere else.
And these are in-person events that have taken the place of the once a year on
the conference.
Yeah, the eBay conference that they would do.
The on-location conference.
So I don't know. We're thinking about going to the one in Baltimore, but it also just looks a little cheesy. It's like in a hotel. It's 3 hours long. It's like a panel of eBay experts and then like an hour of just kind of like drinks or something afterwards. And I don't know.
I wonder who will be there. I'm surprised they're not doing it in like DC. Baltimore is a bit of a drive for us, but still, I would like to just see who's there and if there's an eBay employee. I always have like a...
Yeah, that's one thing.
You know?
we did go to one of those like eBay conferences. I think it was the last one they ever did. And it was actually really helpful. It's for us because we were still relatively kind of, you know, figuring things out. And it was really great because you could actually talk to an eBay person in front of a computer and ask them all the questions
That's dangerous.
You want to ask, you know, all those questions that you're trying to ask the people on the telephone and they don't really understand.
Know what you're talking about.
You can show them on the screen, and we actually learned quite a bit.
Yeah, we actually had surprisingly a very good time. Like when we left, we were like, that was very helpful.
Yeah.
You know?
So I hope that they have computers set up there.
Oh, I'll be bringing my computer. Hopefully they'll have Wi-Fi.
And so that being said, we were thinking about doing a meetup here in Austin. We obviously haven't done it this week, mainly just because we've just been too tired. We're thinking about doing it, you know, on a Friday, we were burnt. We were burnt. So we're still going to be in Austin until next Wednesday. So we're considering doing one, you know, early next week. Again, we'll post it on the blog, but that's all we can say right now. It may not happen. We're just trying
to figure ourselves out here.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have been talking on the blog, and I've read it in some other places online too, where people are like, if you're on vacation mode, why not just mark your items as shipped, and then, you know, eBay won't take away your top-rated seller status. Well, first of all, eBay requires that you have a tracking number, so that would require you printing a shipping label.
Wait, I mean, but how could you say it's shipped? Like, won't a buyer see that?
Well, what people have said is mark it as shipped and just tell your buyer why you have to do that, so that you don't get like bad ratings, even though they're willing to wait.
Right.
But that won't mean anything because eBay's looking for a tracking number. And now with the new defect rate, your tracking number has to get scanned by the carrier in an allotted time.
Because we've actually talked to other sellers that would do this, and we've read it online. It's kind of like this little hack that eBay sellers have done where you can print a label,
but not send it for 2 days.
But not a ship for 2 days or a week.
Or longer.
We bought something from a person in Florida. She had it marked a ship the same day we bought it, and then we looked at the confirmation, and the item didn't move. 1 day, 2 day, 4 day, 5 day, and then we email her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, my car broke down. Sorry." And it took her a week and a half to actually mail the thing. You know?
It was like a bar of soap. Like I think eBay is really trying to cut down on those kinds of sellers. Like you can't say you're going to ship in 1 day and ship in a week. You know, you can't fool them anymore. So that's tough for people like us who, yeah, we are going to be on vacation, but we don't really use that method anyway. So I just wanted to clear that up. And so that's definitely going to change and people are yelling and screaming like, what if my carrier forgets to scan my package? I don't know the answer to that.
So I think the interesting thing too is, I mean, as of right now, all the data that is being gathered will count for your. So all the info being gathered now will count towards your defect rating that goes into effect in August. So August
20th,
yep.
Right?
And we will link on the blog the page that you can check now to see what its defect rating is. The interesting thing is if you click through to a link that says show
report.
Yeah, it shows you which items you got a defect from and why.
Which is so helpful because it's been anonymous and blank for so long where you're like, how come I'm getting all these 1 stars? I don't know what item had the problem. How can I work it out with people?
So it's interesting thing is for us. So we've gotten these defect pings from buyers who left us really glowing positive feedback, but then I guess gave us whatever a low star for item not as described, or which is it's strange, but at least now that I don't know exactly how we can change our behavior because I don't know. But
how the problem is they've already left the feedback. You find out later they've left you positive feedback. They've never contacted you. There's no way to change their star rating after. So that's the problem.
It's not about trying to change that specific thing, but it's about, could that info change our behavior in the future that would stop, getting that kind of feedback?
Yeah, I see. I mean, yeah. Well, there's one item that was really baffling to me. It was a glass jadeite mixing bowl. Mailed it to her, got it to her. She left us positive feedback. I never heard that anything was a problem. And she left low star ratings for item as described.
I'll tell you why. So when you said a low stars, in the new system, it's 1, 2, or even 3 stars. So it used to be just 1 and 2 out of 5. Now, if they don't leave a 4 or 5 star, it's a defect. And I think a lot of buyers, especially if they've been on eBay for a while, if someone looks at the quality and they're like, it's all right, and 3 is kind of a neutral.
Middle, yeah.
That is no longer will slide. And I bet that lady gave us a 3.
A 3.
Maybe she got it and she's like, oh, it's a little more scratched than I thought.
It's not as shiny as I thought. But, oh, man.
I mean, I wish that they would go further and tell you exactly what stars they did give you.
Right. Another thing, too, is, and we've had this happen several times over 5 years, is people accidentally leave you 1 star.
Yeah, this only happened once or twice.
Yeah. I'm like, was that an accident? Come on. Okay, so let's answer some questions from this week. Okay, so Debbie asks, when shipping large items like a chair that cannot be disassembled, do you make a box? Large boxes are so expensive. Thanks. The only chair I ever shipped, I was able to disassemble. So
it's furniture is a tough one. This is a great question because we've been talking about it as well. We've been posting a lot of furniture, and we do a local pickup, which we hope people do. But we are getting people writing us saying, I want this, but I live across the country. Can you ship it to me? Right. Currently, we just push people to a shipping company and have them try and figure it out,
right, we put it on them.
Like
uship.
Yeah.
Uship.com, something like that. But I will say, just for the sake of argument here, the chair that I did disassemble, I bought a cheap box from like a U-Haul store that was used for $5. Other than that, you can assemble your own box out of like 2 or 3 boxes if you have like strapping tape.
But I guess what we've been talking about is that if we want to move like larger furniture that we can ship, we could invest in large pieces of cardboard that you can buy.
On Uline, I think, I have to research it some more, but I'm pretty sure Uline, if you're really going to get into this, they sell these pallets of cardboard that can be like wrapped around an item. So you can essentially custom make a box.
And then if you have, it's one of those score tools.
You can score the edges and really build the box. I mean, you know, for a chair, I would say you want to wrap it in a packing blanket or something that's like a dense blanket. You know, if you go to a thrift store, maybe you can get a blanket for $1, you know?
Yeah. So we've been, you know, because it's one of those things where, you know, we can't just go in 1 foot. Like, we have to be like, we're going to start to ship furniture and invest in some of this packing and really go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, the cool thing is that if we choose to do that, I mean, there's a lot of furniture that we see, and if we could really sell it for a couple $100 or more each, I mean, that's not a bad profit, you know.
If you can get a high profit for furniture and you're willing to figure out the shipping, I think we're going to probably jump into that. We've been talking about it for about a year. You know, it's a tough decision.
Because, you know, we see these pieces of furniture and they're so beautiful. Like, they might be like lightly scratched or real kind of dirty, and we'll buy them for, you know, $5 and bring it home, and you just wipe it down and oil it.
And it's beautiful.
So good.
I know. Or we have this desk. It's a Danish modern desk made in Denmark, made of teak.
We bought it for $15, and we just had to fix the table leg.
I think it was even less than that. I think it was $12. We had to just like glue the leg in place and just like clean it up. It's beautiful. It's classic. I hope someone buys it. You know, it just needed a little love. Okay, so Betty asks, why not put all of the videos on YouTube, one through X number, on a playlist? Would be so much easier to listen to instead of finding the next one.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think what I need to do is I'll go into YouTube and make a playlist of 1 through 125, so people can listen to that. That's really easy. So just look for that.
And that way we can just add.
Yeah, we'll just add to it as we upload.
So I guess if someone comes across this new, you could just start playing episode 1 and it would just play
all day for days.
It'd be like our little radio station.
Yep. Yeah, so I'll do that. Betty also asks, have you ever tried Bonanza, which is a different eBay type?
It's like an eBay clone, or I think it got started by a bunch of buyers. It got started by a bunch of
angry sellers
that got angry after, I think it was like the 2008 change when they changed, when they upped the fees and stuff. And so they started this new site.
When we first started in 2008 to really sell, I tried Bonanza, I tried Etsy, and I tried eBay. And eBay, reigned supreme. So nothing ever sold on Bonanza. And like we said, I only have so much time, and so I'm focusing on one platform, and that's eBay.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. And you look, if some other site comes up and like everyone's going there, I mean, we'll go there too.
But I mean, people are talking about that new one called 11 Main. I don't think we really talked about this on the podcast, but we tried to do 11 Main, and
we imported, because actually they have a neat tool where you can import all of your eBay listings. So we tried to import all 3,500. And they only accepted 5 items. 5 items.
5 items. So I'm just kind of like, oh, and the other thing was, I couldn't for the life of me understand how to make a new listing on their site.
Well, because I don't think that they're doing that yet. But I just think that they're trying to be very high scale, and maybe ours was a little bit too like antique and shabby chic.
So if that's the case, then good. I don't need to sell on their site.
But I see people who sell on Amazon FBA and they sell on eBay too. And I mean, I always see people start going towards one or the other.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I'm not selling much on eBay. I'm only selling on Amazon FBA.
Because, or vice versa. Yeah.
It's just, if you're working by it yourself or with another partner, there just is not enough time to do multiple platforms. I mean, maybe you can dabble in one, but I don't know. I've never been able to see having 2 full-time stores that are successful.
I think people are looking, this is what I always think, like, oh, when I saw 11 Main, I was like, oh, great. Like, this is the perfect place to sell all my high-end shoes, my high-end jewelry. You want less competition somewhere else. Like, not a lot of people are there yet, whatever. And it just never pans out. It doesn't work on Etsy. It doesn't work on Bonanza or whatever it's called. It has never worked for me. I focus on eBay, and it kicks ass. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's what works.
Okay, guys, that's it for this week. We actually are not going to do a second one. It's this week because we have to get out of this hotel room.
Quick.
Yeah.
And actually, what's awesome is what we're going to do now that we're done working, I have loaded up our phone with estate sales from estatesales.net, and I have also opened up the yard sale treasure map.
Yeah, thanks for the people that told us about that.
So we're about to go get our rental car. And we're going to drive around.
Drive around Austin and start loading up the back of the car.
That's right. We're going to be shipping boxes home. I can feel it. Okay, guys. Have a good week.
See ya.
Bye.